What's the science saying about kids' self-esteem in 2025? This parent prep is inspired by the recent Lost Boys report, published in the UK in March 2025. The kids who look fine, but don't feel fine. He's doing well in school. She's got friends. Nothing's really wrong, and yet something feels off. He seems irascible or gets angry over nothing. She won't try unless she knows she'll win. They all seem confident on the outside, but quietly, invisibly, they're shrinking. These are the common patterns emerging amongst feedback from many parents today. Have you noticed it too? Self-esteem isn't just a feeling, it's a pattern of belief. Self-esteem isn't about thinking you're great. It's about believing you're worthy even when you're not winning. It's about trust in the world around you as you trust your own innate ability. Yet it increasingly appears that this very belief is becoming harder to find, harder to nurture, and harder to hold on to in adolescence. According to the latest data, more than half of boys aged 9 to 14 in the UK report feeling not good enough, not at school, not online playing games with their friends, and not even with their friends in general. And girls are struggling too, but boys are falling through the cracks, silently, smiling on the surface yet collapsing underneath. So why is this happening? I see it all too often. Less conversation, less play, less embodied interaction, more screen time, more comparison, more internal pressure to perform instead of just exist. We now know self-esteem is built in real time through micro-interactions. For example, how a child is seen, heard, and mirrored back to by safe adults. See the other 10-minute parent prep on, you don't need to be a perfect parent to raise happy kids. But without those anchors, kids often become their own harshest critics. When we are hypercritical of self, comparison is damaging. For example, think of the comparison in their lives compared to our upbringing. We only had to compare ourselves to the kids in our school and neighborhood. They have informational access to the world for comparison at remarkably young ages. It's kind of like sending out a child into a storm without a coat. Their nervous system is soaked with judgment, and maybe they don't know how to dry off. But let's be real, we're all a bit soaked, aren't we? I think I'd speak for many of us when I'd say we're overwhelmed too. The information we're exposed to daily has dramatically increased in 30 years. In 1995, US citizens were exposed to roughly 1 gigabyte of data per day, and that included radio, TV, billboard advertising. But now with the average US screen time at 8 hours daily, plus other sources, that number in 2025 is closer to 75 gigabytes and 15 hours total media time a day. A little soaked in influence is perhaps an understatement. We planned to do bedtime affirmations, but instead it ended up being pizza and a short temper. We want to talk to them about self-worth, but also not about leaving their crusts in the water glass again. Self-esteem plan. 1, breathe. 2, try again tomorrow. I often hear experts say to regulate your child. I say, regulate me first, then we'll see. So, what builds self-esteem? Mirror moments. Kids don't believe who they are until someone reflects it back to them. So an action for you here can be to say what you see, not just what they do. For example, I noticed how patient you were. And if you don't already know, the key to praise is always specifics. Generalized praise washes off. Specific noting of an observation lands. 2, safe to fail zones. Because the biggest thief of self-esteem, it's the fear of failure. So your action here would be celebrate effort, not outcome, especially when they struggle. Finally, consider anchor phrases, because children need repeatable truths that they can hold on to. So your action here would be decide on one sentence that they are going to hear often. I like, You don't have to be perfect to be great. Which one feels possible for you this week? What they need most is you being imperfect yet present. They don't need a parent who knows all the psychology. They don't need a coach who gives them all the tips. They need you. Not the filtered you, not the fixed you, just the soft-edged, maybe a bit tired, trying version of you. Because self-esteem isn't built through lectures, it's built through being safe, whilst being seen and attempting appropriate challenges, something Kinship helps families through together. They will deeply remember the way you looked at them when they didn't feel good enough. And those looks, well, they'll become either their rock or their thorn.